This is unbelievable to me. Today, moments ago, one of the press people for Donald Trump goes on CNN. You know what? Kudos to her. Kudos to her. She's actually trying to diversify and not just go on the conservative network. She's right out there on CNN. And she tries to make the point that I just did about Jake being a bit biased, and we should understand that going into Thursday night. Whoa! The anchor won't even, the poor anchor who looks like she just rolled out of bed, won't even let her talk. Take a peek.
So he's basically saying there, well, will I let Joe Biden win? It does seem as though many Republicans have set the bar very low in terms of arguing that Joe Biden is basically senile. Now you have people like Doug Burgum coming out and saying, well, President Biden's very accomplished, trying to set expectations in a different place. What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently frequently likened President Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate. Arthe.
I can't quite breathe because I'm so upset that someone dared to insult my colleague, Jake Tapper, the godly Jake Tapper, who can't get his voice out of his nose. Oh, my Lord. You know what, Caroline Levitt, again, kudos to you, girl, because, I'd have no interest in going on that show ever. These people they're not fair. Kudos to Trump. Listen, I wish in some ways he wasn't doing that, but I think he felt like he needed to, he had to. And so here he is, and he's going on the likes of CNN, where he is not going to get a fair shake because, yes, to Caroline's point, the anchors are incredibly biased. They've made it, I will say this in Fox's defense for one moment. I know you guys don't love Brett and Martha, but they serve a purpose, and they're actually not allowed to speak out as much as other people like a Hannity might speak out. They're actually really, really specific about that. They play a certain role, and the network requires that they try to live within the parameters of that. On CNN, they don't even try. They don't even it's like the same at MSNBC. They're all super lefty and make it clear how much they hate Trump over and over and over again. And then somehow now they're moderating the debate. I mean, he's a big guy. He's a smart guy. He'll probably be able to handle it fine. But what do you do when they turn off your mic? I mean, that's my concern. And they only open it for Biden. They said they're only going to give out 1 bottle of water. You guys are like, hey, I hope he checks that water. Bring your own water, Trump, right? That's kind of funny. And they're going to stand at a table, I guess. It'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to be one-sided. I think I'll be amazed if Biden can pull it together. I do think that they're going to give him his favorite issues. And you saw what I just showed you about how women not being mobilized to come out and vote against Trump and for Biden because, they're looking at their grocery bills. Well, they're trying to boil this down to one issue and one issue only. And they think that somehow they're going to be able to motivate women to come out if they focus on abortion. But I got news for them. Been there, done that. It's been kicked back to the states. You go focus on those governor races and anybody that's holding a state office, okay? Because that has nothing to do with the president at this point. Absolutely nothing. Roe v. Wade was kicked back to the states. So you're trying to relive history. It's really bizarre. I mean, that's your issue for the presidential race? I'm sorry, I don't think so. I mean, I go back to those polls from Axios, and it makes sense to me now. Okay, so maybe you've got Democrats up in some of the local races, even the Senate races. But when it comes to the presidential race, everybody knows now the president's going to have nothing to do with that. That's done, okay? Done. We've moved on. His other big issue that he wants to focus on apparently is the economy, which just cracks me up because I'm like, you know what? You are your own worst enemy, Joe Biden. You are your own worst enemy because Donald Trump can basically have you as a little snack for lunch on something like that. Just a little snack. And yet I look at this. So I want to show you this clip from, it was actually played on Fox, one of the Biden-Harris campaign chair people trying to say somehow that not having an audience is better for the American people. Not having an audience? Oh, because they just don't want Biden to get booed. I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want Biden to get distracted. You know how he keeps looking off into the big crowd, all dazed and confused, has no clue what's going on because there's so many people. That's what they're trying to avoid. Listen to this woman.
Not having an audience, not having distractions, not having to worry about COVID. I think all of those things are better for the American people, and Joe Biden's going to have a great debate.
Yeah. Better for the American people. I'm sorry. You know what? It's over before it started. Because I don't think anybody believes that Donald Trump is going to get a fair debate. Because you got a couple anchors that have an enormous bias. An enormous bias. And they're part of the problem. They're part of the system and they're part of the problem. So we'll see. You know what? I'll keep an open mind. I'll watch it. I'll pick the best clips and we'll talk about them on Friday. I promise. But I don't have high expectations for any of it, really.